Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance.
It's over here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll call the June 6th meeting of the Common Council to order. Please call the roll.
Councillor Olson. Here. Councillor Fennessy. Here. Councillor Bender. Councillor Sweeney. Councillor McDonald. Councillor Garfield. Here. Councillor Finsland. Here. Councillor Herrick. Here. Councillor Dennis Dahlbeck. Here. Councillor Esther Dahlbeck.
Here.
Councillor Nowicki. Here. And Councillor Kadat.
Recognizing a quorum will proceed, and I'll ask for the consideration of the minutes of the May 19th meeting. Heard the motion and second to approve. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
5.1 is a item 5.1 is a public hearing to rezone properties in the vicinity of 45th and 49th Avenues East between East Itasca and Michigan Streets to R2 two-family residential district.
At this time, I'll call for a public hearing and ask those that wish to speak for or against to do so now. For the second time, those that wish to speak for or against may do so now. And for the third and final time, those that wish to speak for or against may do so now. Hearing seen none, I'll call the public hearing to a close and ask the pleasure of the council.
Move for approval. Second.
For the motion and second, discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion is carried.
5.2 is a public hearing to rezone lots in the vicinity of 19th Avenue East and East 13th Street to R1B one-family residential district.
Once again, I'll call for a public hearing and ask those that wish to speak for or against to do so now. Those that wish to speak for or against may do so now. And for the third and final time, those that wish to speak for or against may do so now. Hearing and seeing none, I'll call the public hearing to a close and ask the consideration of the council. You've heard a motion and a second to approve. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Item 5.3 was a public hearing to consider non-renewal of applicants in Part 2 of the alcohol report. However, all of the applicants have paid, and a motion to approve all of them would be in order.
For the motion and second, Councilor Olson.
Just a question. We seem to do this every year where we get right down to the 11th hour with a few people. They've got ample amount of time to correct, and then are they getting the penalty for the stormwater then, or how?
Well, this stormwater is already on their taxes as an assessment, so we're collecting it that way. But yeah, I would imagine the interest is added to that, and then there's also interest on the assessment.
And it's all paid for.
Councilor Dahlbeck.
I just want to make a comment. Also, maybe we need to look down the road of if these the sewer, stormwater, personal property aren't paid within a specific time, like 30 days, maybe we need to start looking at pulling those licenses so they pay those bills on time like the rest of us do.
Councilor Esther Dahlbeck.
Well, are they all paid up to date then? There's no...
Correct, yes.
Correct, okay. So, all right, thank you.
Yeah, I think we should be considering something so that it's not a last-minute issue all the time. Every year it seems to be.
Every year.
We'll look into that as far as the legality of moving it. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Item 6 is the consent agenda.
For the motion and second, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Item 7.1, Parks and Recreation and Forestry Director Morgan regarding closure of Moccasin Mike Road, restricting access to Schaefer's Beach and Dutchman's Creek.
Mary?
Councilors, in the memo that I sent you in your packet tonight, we're faced with 3 differing opinions about what ought to happen out on Moccasin Mike Road. And I had hoped Supervisor Allen would be here with us this evening so you could hear his perspective directly. Maybe some of you have heard it already. We do have a representative of the St. Louis River Alliance who's here, and she might like a moment of your time to tell you of the importance and the expense that the federal government has gone to protect this endangered bird. Chris, you want to come up, state your name and organization, and turn on the microphone, please?
Okay. Chris Eilers, St. Louis River Alliance. I think you all probably know the details. This year, the significance of the gate being across the road, we send monitors out every morning and every night, and sometimes during the afternoon, to walk Schaefer Beach and also all the way down to Dutchman's and also on another part of the Bayside. And this year, compared to last year, the amount of disturbances that are on the beach is significantly less. In a normal day last year and the previous years, we might see 5 to 10 dogs running loose on the beach, numerous piles of garbage, people camping, remnants of huge bonfires, tents, and fireworks left on the beach, which in no way will a piping plover nest there, and many other birds won't nest there either. This year, I have no reported sites of tents or fireworks or bonfires, and we might see one dog in the morning running loose every once in a while, but not very often anymore. So significantly, that gate has protected the area. You probably all heard on the news that there were some visiting piping plover on Minnesota Point this year who stayed for a couple of weeks, and it was a huge media event. We had a press conference because the reason that we had it is because they stayed for a couple of weeks, and normally they'll just stay for a day and they'll leave. And we saw a couple out on Schaefer Beach. I don't have a 100% positive ID on it because I couldn't get a scope on it fast enough to get a picture through it or anything. And on Minnesota Point, we just happened to have a photographer with us again. So they are stopping by. They're staying a little bit longer this year. We saw the excitement in the media all the way across the state of Minnesota and into Wisconsin. We had over 15,000 shares on our Facebook page because of that. So you can see the excitement and the interest that the community has in this. And the investment that U.S. Fish and Wildlife and many other agencies has put into this, Wisconsin DNR has put into this up to date close to $250,000 in that area to renovate, restore, and keep maintaining that beach. The gate across the road has made a significant difference in disturbances. And again, the reason why they're probably not staying are because of disturbances. Also, there might be some predator issues too, but we haven't seen any of those yet. But our studies have shown that loose dogs on the beach and the illegal activities, which we are really wanting to curb. We don't care if people are down there, but the illegal activity is what we're trying to curb a little bit and control. The gate has served that purpose with really relatively little cost, and hopefully not a lot of people complaining. We do know it's an inconvenience, but it's 2 weeks left of the nesting season. So we would ask that this year that we could leave the gate in that location for the next 2 weeks, unless there is a nest occurring, which would be of significant national interest. Then it would be extended to, I think it was August 15th. But there's still 2 weeks left of the nesting season. We are seeing the birds flying through. Some of them are staying and really looking for a place to nest. So we would hope that we could do things differently next year and figure something out, follow the right procedures, and get the gates where they need to be next year. So thank you. Any questions?
Not answer the question. I just want to commend the St. Louis River Alliance for the efforts you're doing out there. I think it's great.
Thank you.
I know there's been some confusion, and Mary, I want to thank you for taking the effort to clarify things, how things happen to go through, and I think you've done a great job in the due process of going back to each of the committees, informing everybody of what happened. But I think it's critical now that that we keep the gate in place. At least that's my feeling. I think we need to keep the gate in place. It's only a couple of weeks, but I think it's critical now that we work on a solution for next year, whether it's where the gates are placed or how they're placed or whatever. But I think it's going to have to go back to the committees. the Wisconsin Point Committee, the county committees, the council, but I think that's gonna be the critical thing. So I'm in favor of leaving it as is and support the project to the bitter end. So, I'm gonna make a motion to receive and file. I don't believe we need action on this, do we?
Well, I think the Land and Development Committee will expect a visit from me if there is a nest and the gate continues to be closed beyond June 15th. They want to take up the matter again if that should happen at their June meeting. It's like the last Tuesday. It's not my intent to put the city council in the position of making a recommendation in opposition to one or more county committees, but I will. Then what am I going to do? Ping pong back from Land and Development the end of June, back to you the 1st of July, back to them the end of. So I'm looking for some guidance. I very deliberately did not make a recommendation myself tonight because I've gotten in some trouble.
Yeah, well, I mean, I guess, and if you're looking for a motion, I guess we could support a motion, but the way I look at it, and I represent that area, is we've come this close, and say all of a sudden at the last minute there's a nest. I personally feel it's that much more important to keep that gate up until that middle of August. But I understand there's gonna be some repercussions, but I think we have to.
Okay, but this body hasn't gone on record in favor of that as a body until this moment, if that's what you choose to do.
Of leaving the gate up? Well, we did by the action we took through the consent agenda a couple months ago, or a few months ago, correct? So what I'm saying is receive and
Okay.
file.
Yeah, I
And what
understand.
that's doing is that's allowing us to continue our support of this as it was documented when it came through the consent agenda.
Okay, well, forgive me for going over this with a fine-tooth comb. I understand what you're saying, Counselor. Proceed.
Yeah, and Councilor Olson just reminded me, the minutes from that meeting when we approved that are in the consent agenda. So I think what we're doing is reapproving our action from before.
Okay,
So by receiving and filing, unless somebody feels we need to have any other action, I think we should just do a motion to receive and file.
What we'd be doing is duplicating the action.
Yeah. Yep.
So
That's appropriate. I'll make that motion to receive and file.
Was there a second? I'm sorry. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Carried. I want to thank the River Alliance, Chris, and Mary. You've taken, shall I say, undue abuse over this, and it's unnecessary and called for. So thank you so much, and we do stand behind you.
I'm feeling it, Mayor.
Item 7.2, Planning and Port Director Cirque is submitting a request from Dave Sigfords to put up a bid for a vacant lot in the corner of Winter and Baxter. No objections have been received, and he is recommending to put the property up for sale with a minimum bid of $5,600.
For the motion of multiple seconds to approve, discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Motion's carried.
7.3, Planning and Port Director Cirque is recommending to sell city-owned property at 1116 North 12th Street to Brad Jacobson for $1,026.
For the motion and second, discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? The motion is carried.
7.4, Planning and Port Director Cirque is recommending submitting a request from Relay for Life Committee to post signs promoting their event July 10th, 2015. Signs will be posted end of June, beginning of July, and taken down July 12th.
Heard the motion and second. Counselor Olson?
So with these motions and all that Cirque's doing, do we have to stand behind him too, or should we just let him think he's doing a good job?
Thank you, Counselor. All in favor? Opposed? Motion's carried.
Item 8.1, Mayor Hagan has recommended approval to appoint Todd Janico as the Public Works Director effective March 23rd, 2015.
For the motion and several or more seconds. All in favor? Opposed? Congratulations.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I'd like to congratulate Todd. I think he's, we look at the people we have sitting there, all these individuals work their way up in the city. and so has Todd. And I think the city should be proud that we do that. A lot of cities will hire outside. We tend to train our people inside, and they turn out to be the best you can get, cream of the crop.
Thank you.
And I'll second that one.
You can put it any way you want. Congratulations, Todd.
8.2, Mayor Hagan is recommending to appoint Bonnie Koppenhaver to the Police and Fire Commission for a term expiring May 2020.
Heard the motion and second. Discussion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Opposed? Thank you.
Business by counselors. I believe our youth counselors have a few words.
Councilor Kadat.
All right, thank you. So I'd like to start off by thanking the City of Superior for offering this position and allowing Mike and myself the opportunity to be a part of the City Council. This position has provided many experiences that have taught us about our local government here in Superior and the hard decisions that our city and our city councilors have to make. While in this position, Mike and I have been able to go to Madison to participate in Superior Days as City Council youth representatives. The past couple of years at Superior Days have given us the opportunity to be a part of lobbying for our area and has given us a chance to experience our state's government in action. This experience is something that I will never forget and I'm truly grateful for. The time that I have served as youth representative has helped me to appreciate the decisions that I have made or that have to be made to better our city. I've also been able to meet hardworking people who are passionate about their community. The time I have sat on the City Council has prompted my interest in potentially running for a City Council seat or elected position wherever I choose to settle down. As my final decision, I am going to the University of North Dakota on an Air Force ROTC scholarship for mechanical engineering. And I'd just like to thank everyone who's been a part of making this possible for Mike and myself once again.
Thank you very much.
Congratulations.
Councilor Nowicki.
Like August said, I want to thank you all for this experience. It's been nothing but a positive experience. My 3 years doing this, I've done Superior Days for the past 3 years, and it's been the best experience of my high school career. I've met a lot of people, and just going down there and seeing the passion of not only people from Superior, but from the Northland and how they want to change their communities has been awesome. And going down there, it really solidified my decision in going to Madison Forest School on Army ROTC scholarship for engineering. And yeah, I've learned a lot of how the city works, how the city makes decisions, and it's been nothing but positive, and I'd recommend it to anybody who is interested in it.
Thank you. Councilors want to come up here with me for a minute? On behalf of the Common Council and the people of Superior, I would like to offer this commendation to each one of you. And I'll read one and thank you so much for your service. August Kadat and Mike Nowicki, youth counselors, September 20th, 2011 through June 2nd, 2015. In appreciation of your hard work, dedication, and commitment to learning and participating in local government, we hope that you will take this experience and knowledge and apply it as you see fit in your future endeavors. There's nothing better than making a real contribution to your community. We wish you both all the best in the future. On behalf of the people of Superior, I want to thank you very much. Thanks, August. Thank you, Mike.
Thank you very much.
Item 10.1 is a resolution promoting pedestrian and parking facilities at or near current widths on U.S. Highway 2, Belknap Street.
For the motion and second discussion.
Actually, I have a discussion on this. So, all right, yeah, I've been approached by several constituents, including university students and professionals in the community that are concerned with moving forward with pro-parking, anti-bicycle lane sort of attitude on this project. And I understand that space is very limited, but this in particular concerned me. The continuation, this is under whereas, the continuation of on-street parking outweighs the need for on-street bike accommodations. That's not necessarily true. There's really quite adequate parking in downtown Superior compared to other downtown areas in larger cities, and there's a lot of off-street parking on side streets as well. I don't know how many counselors have tried to ride a bike down Belknap recently. I do bicycle, and I understand that it's pretty dangerous to try to ride on Belknap right now. And of course, if you're older than in the 6th grade, you can't ride on the sidewalk. It's suggested in this document that you use 21st Street as an alternative. Well, not only does that keep bicycle traffic away from the shops in the downtown area, but 21st Street itself is also pretty dangerous to bicycle on. And as a final consideration, I think that a lot of lower income folks actually rely on bicycles for transportation to and from work, for shopping. And I would just like to observe that this idea that we need more parking, and I understand keeping sidewalks as wide as possible for accessibility is important, but the idea that we need to maintain parking at the expense of bicycle lanes is kind of a last century idea. In 2015, a distinction of a modern city is to have bicycle access downtown. So I don't think in good conscience that I could support this resolution at this time, although I do understand what it's trying to accomplish.
Thank you. Any other discussion? If not, you have a motion and second on the floor to approve. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Nay.
Motion carried.
Item 10.2 is a resolution introduced by Mayor Hagan requesting the Department of Natural Resources to conduct air quality testing relevant to D&N construction.
Heard the motion and second. Discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Item 10.3 is a resolution setting a public hearing July 7th to rezone lots located in the vicinity of 2nd Avenue East and East 6th Street from R1B 1 Family Residential to R3 Apartment Residential District.
Heard the motion and second. Discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
Item 10.4 is a resolution setting a public hearing July 21st to vacate the northeast half of St. Croix Street, beginning at 47th Avenue East, northeasterly for 200 feet.
Heard the motion and second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
11.1 is an ordinance introduced by the Public Works Committee amending the traffic code, no parking on odd numbered side of the street by deleting no parking on the odd side of Poplar Avenue from the south right-of-way line to North 12th Street south for a distance of 200 feet.
Heard the motion. Second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion is carried.
11.2 is an ordinance introduced by the Public Works Committee amending the traffic code, no parking in designated spaces by adding Poplar Avenue west side approximately 200 feet south of the center line of North 12th Street for a distance of 150 feet south.
Heard the motion and second to approve. All in favor? Opposed? Motion is carried. Any other business to come before this body? All in favor? We stand adjourned. Thank you very much.